Native Americans were also doing agriculture. So those warring Native American nations that went at it with each other, and they got vicious, were probably mostly doing it for good agricultural land as well. Now, some Native American nations tended to be more nomadic and less agriculture, and some tended to be more agriculture. So there was a little bit of variation there. But I think it's safe to say that the majority of the North American population pre-Columbian did agriculture. Obviously, when they would take breaks if they were going to follow the bison, right? They would take breaks from what farming they did. And if you lived on the Great Plains sucked for agricultural purposes, so they weren't doing much. But if you were around the Great Lakes or on the East Coast or around the Mississippi or even in the Southwest, like the Anasazi, they were totally doing agriculture, and they were doing it on grand scales. And then, by the time you get to the Aztec Empire, they had created a type of agriculture that was so advanced that when the Spanish conquered them, it meant a catastrophic caloric drop. And one of the reasons so many Aztecs died was they literally starved to death because the Spanish couldn't keep up with their food demand. Because the Aztecs had a superior agriculture system to the Spanish, right? If you measure it by caloric output anyway.
At the beginning, when you were talking about your students that have to fill out the form,
Yeah.
I was just curious, why did he identify as African American?
So it's actually a legal issue here. What happened was, I think it was 1908. It was around 1908. There was a Lebanese American who was a security guard. And by American, I meant that I should say he was a Lebanese immigrant to the United States who was a security guard who wanted to apply for U.S. citizenship. According to the laws at the time, until 1952, the only people eligible to become a naturalized U.S. citizen were whites. So if you were from Asia and you lived in the United States for 25 years and you had children who were born here, you could not become a naturalized U.S. citizen. If you were from Africa, you could not become a naturalized U.S. citizen. There was no path for citizenship for you. So this Lebanese American wants to become a citizen. He'd been here for a long time. He had been living here for a long time. He wanted to become a citizen. And by the way, there was a huge number of Lebanese. They really started coming over in the 1880s, and a lot of them ended up, by the way, in Austin. Austin, a bunch of you, if you're from Austin, like you've been, your people have been here for a century or more, should totally take 23andMe. I think you're going to find out that a lot of you are part Lebanese. In any case, this guy sued and went to the courts. He walks into the courtroom and he goes, I have a question for you. What was Jesus? And the court went, Jesus was white. It's obvious. And the Lebanese guy goes, well, I'm from where Jesus was from. He won that case instantaneously. They're like, dude, you're white. And then they declared that everybody from North Africa and the Middle East, therefore, was white. So if you're Persian, if you're Turkish, if you're Arab, if you're Jewish, if you're Egyptian, if you're Sudanese, if you're Libyan, you're Algerian, you're Moroccan, you have to put white. That is how American race law works. And so it doesn't matter what color your skin is, it matters the place of your origin. And so you have to put white. Now, having said that, in February of this year, the Census Bureau has suggested the creation of a new race, and we're still in the process of determining that, but they want it ready to be put on the census for 2020, and that sixth race, right, because right now it's Hispanic, white, black, Asian, and then Native American Pacific Islander. The sixth race would be Middle East and North African. So that could be fixed, I guess, by doing that. But it's still kind of weird.